Hello fellow Minecrafters, Gearsaw Studios here. Today I'm going to show off 22w13a, where they have added the away and the ancient cities. However, before I begin, remember, please like and subscribe, it really helps me out. So, with that, let's investigate. So, here we are on Reddit, and we can see the changelog, and it's surprisingly long, but according to the taskbar, it's very large, but just a lot of people commenting. So, what we can see is Ancient City, away. So, aways are the thing we voted on in Minecon. And they spawn in pillager outpost cages and woodland mansion jails. They collect items that match the item they're holding, so give it dirt, it picks up dirt, and it hands the items to you or the closest note block that recently played, which makes it become its favorite note block for 30 seconds, and brings it over there. So that way you can have an automatic holding system thing, where you have a note block playing, give it away something, and now you have a ton of hoppers, but better. And interacting with the away with an empty hand will remove the item the away is holding, in case you accidentally give it netherite swords, because that would be absolutely disastrous. For the ancient cities, they spawn in the deep dark, and there's chests where you can find swift sneak. However, they're guarded by skulk shriekers, which happen to have a lot of skulk sensors around it. And the center of these have reinforced deep slate. Mobs cannot spawn here for obvious reasons, as in no shriekers activating unfairly. Compared to the differences, well, there's just new structures, and existing ones have been tweaked, and there's now an icebox structure, and those have unique loot. The changes, everything else, there's a couple of tags where Skulk Shriekers generated by a catalyst cannot activate Warden spawning. Minecart, the chest, furnace, TNT, and hopper minecart recipes are shapeless. When broken, each minecart variant drops itself as an item rather than splitting. And only wool and wool carpets now block the sounds coming from note blocks, which means sound occlusion with wool. Some renamings, some things, including wardens cannot pass over rails, have been fixed. So, overall, just pause the video if you want to see the bugs. Let's investigate in game. So, we're going to be covering the away, which has been on Bedrock Edition for a while, but it's finally on Java, so we can finally play around with it here. It naturally generates at Pillager Outpost and Woodland Mansions, and it has noises now. But a big issue is if you go near any structure containing an away, the game will literally have a runtime error, corrupt, and crash, requiring you to use Task Manager to close out what is left of the game. So, I would not go exploring very much, because it seems like these things kind of break the game a little. But how they work is you can give them an item. So, I gave it some dripstone, and if I throw some dripstone down, then it picks it up. And now it throws it right back at me. So, it's really handy for that. Another thing you can do is you can play a note block, then throw down the dripstone, and it gives it to the note block now. And it's pretty intelligent. It doesn't just pick up everything. If I throw down some tough, it doesn't care. So, only if I throw down dripstone. And its inventory seems to be right about a stack. So, you can get these guys, and you have a very good thing that can help you. Because, well, it flies around, picks up items, and throws at note blocks. So, a clock at a note block, and now you have something nice for the away to do. So, yeah, very good mobs. So, that's the main purpose of the away. It picks up items, throws it at you. So, it's like an extended grab hand thing. However, another unique feature is you can't hit it very well. Of course, I was able to hit it right there, but that's because it deemed me not its owner. So, I can attack it now, but if I were to summon a new one and give it a new item, you can see I can no longer attack it. And then now can get hurt again. So another unique feature is they can use totems. So if I give it a totem and then use something strong and blow it up, well, it actually just resisted my damage there, but the point is that it can use a totem of undying. So yeah, very unique mobs. So I finally figured out how to make it activate its totem. In the unlikely scenario this gets hurt, such as going through the nether and it ends up in lava, gets a nasty encounter with a Zoglin somehow, or just any other situation, well, it can use totems. So just like that, it used a totem. So if you're making them travel long distances, it might be worth giving them the totems you found from the mansion once they finally get fixed. Because mansions are currently broken in this snapshot. So yeah, very unique mobs, and there's a ton to cover, but I don't exactly know too much about how they work. They're just a grab hand to me. So if you are a redstone engineer, comment down below. Think about what you could do with this whole thing. So with the rather complex mob known as the Allay aside, we have something way bigger on our hands. A completely revamped ancient city. So we can see there's a ton of new structures now. It looks kind of complete now, and there's just so much to cover with this structure. And I'll do my best to try to cover it all. So you can see there's staircases now, so you can choose what side you want to take. However, this also means the warden could erupt from here, so you aren't exactly safe towering up over here too easily. And there's more just stuff in general. There's these dark oak things, and there's just towers and bridges about. It looks lived in, or at least lived in at some point, because of course there's still the skulk around. Now, it's a little better at not generating the water, but it's still not perfect. As you can see, this aquifer just completely enveloped this ancient city structure. And the loot is way better now. You can see Swiss Sneaks, Oak Touch, Soul Torch, music discs, amethyst shards, weed saddles. Like, that was only one chest. And from what I could see, you can even get enchanted golden apples here. And you can get diamond tools. Just a lot of good stuff here. So yeah, it's definitely worth exploring now, besides for the skulk. Now, looking in these and ignoring the shrieker, regen potions, glow berries, a really good hoe, compasses, books, just a lot of stuff is in here. So it's actually worth going here now. Along with that, there's just, well, new structures. We can see these towers sometimes overlap, and that creates a unique effect. These portal things, there's new ones. There's even an ice room, and it has redstone. So, yeah, just like that, some sort of trap, which is incredibly intelligent. And yeah, so just very smart. And if you go in this bottom area over here, there's, well, ice and suspicious stew. The warden, though, no changes it seems. Still invincible while erupting. Yeah, there aren't many changes with the warden. And the suspicious stew gave me blindness. So it might be specifically blindness that follows. It also seems like there's new effects for the warden. Though, I just dropped an item, but I might have just never noticed that. But the main thing is the middle. Reinforced deep slate is still useless. However, the middle actually has stuff now. The soul fire has been changed a little, so it's now just one continuous layer. I don't really like that part too much. But there's actually an entrance into here somewhere. So I've gone into spectator mode and explored one or two, and there is an entrance somewhere. So I haven't been able to locate the entrance yet, but if we go into spectator mode, we can see redstone, and a lot of redstone. So yeah, there's redstone, there's a piston door, and that's how you get in. So it encourages you to use the skulk for redstone related purposes, because, well, you can see the skulk sensors were originally just used in these lamps. However, some of them seem to be collapsed now. But yeah, there's so much to uncover. So, I found another ancient city, and it's a lot more open. And it seems like the generation's just way, way better now. It's way more open, it connects to caves, and it's less likely to just get absolutely destroyed by an aquifer. Although, it still happens from time to time. So, looking around, of course, a lot of the structures are more or less the same, but of course we have the towers, we have these wool things, and unfortunately it does not seem like there's anything inside, just an unlit campfire, which means there's nothing of interest in there. But these weird towers, you have to tower up, but of course there could be a shrieker up here, which means you have to be careful. But of course, there's the loot inside the chest. It's just a lot more challenging to not summon the warden because there's more unique structures, which means more places a shrieker could hide. And of course, there's the loot, there's the hose, coal, music discs, whatnot, which for some reason just always contain cat and 13, no other ones. In the middle, well, it's just a single golden carrot, which is weird. But sometimes there's like a hole here, which reveals the inner parts of this, which have redstone. It's finally a way to teach new players who do not have access to the internet that well to redstone, which means exploring these things will be very advantageous for newcomers to Minecraft, because they're going to figure out how to use redstone, comparators, target blocks, just a lot of things in here. However, of course, there's always the skulk sensors around, which means you could still get ambushed by a warden and die in here. But yeah, there's newfound stuff in here, which is absolutely amazing. So, I was looking through the tags on the skulk shriekers, and I found something. If you press F3 on this and you're on Java, you can see this one I placed down is can summon false, which means it can't summon the warden and it can't give you darkness, which might be an issue for how did we get here, all effects achievement. However, if you go to a naturally generated one, say in the deep dark or the ancient city, then if you F3 this one, you can see, well, can summon true, which means there's a way to literally just end the warden's existence in a certain area altogether. Break the shriekers, place them back. Sure, they make scary noises, but can't get you. Which means, unfortunately, you cannot troll your friends by summoning a warden in their house. Which is for the good or bad. It's up to you whether you think that's good or not, but I think there should be some way to summon the warden without going to a natural deep dark. And, of course, the cities are still a work in progress, which means it might not be that way forever, because aquifers still overlap it, and just random shenanigans and whatnot. So, you can share your thoughts on that. Do you think it's good that we can't summon a warden without going to the actual deep dark, or do you think we should be able to summon them on our own? Well, decide your opinion on that. There's a couple of new advancements. So, if I put this in a bucket, well, I can look in the advancements thing and catch a tadpole with a bucket. And strangely, it didn't give me it. However, if you're in creative mode, it does give it, fortunately. I mean, in survival, it does give it. However, you can't get this one in creative. Now, back in creative, you can see I have frog lights. So, pearlescent froglight with their powers combined. And it's probably some sort of Power Rangers joke or something. But yeah, if you get all three in your inventory, you get a challenge advancement done. Which honestly, it's not that difficult, but okay. For the last one, you need a catalyst. Now, with this catalyst, get a mob that can just drop XP excluding the dragon, because that's a special case scenario that would really just ruin the end because how much it drops. So, Vindicator, Skull Catalyst, Axe, and if I take out this Vindicator, you can see it spreads, a new advancement. Now, the categorization of these is the Tadpole Bucket is in husbandry, along with our powers combined, while Adventure has its spreads, which means, well, there's 3 new advancements, which means the all advancement speedrun is harder, and a normal player is going to have a little bit more fun discovering these new advancements. Overall, I think they're good advancements, but I think there should be a unique challenge advancement for killing the Warden. Even though it's meant to be impossible and it's excluded from Monsters Hunted, I think there should be a unique one specifically just for the Warden, separate from Monsters Hunted. For the final change, they've made it so reinforced deep slate is not pushable by pistons. So, unfortunately, your movable wither blast cage thing that can literally destroy the entire underground for diamonds and whatnot is unfortunately impossible. You're gonna have to install a mod or find some new crazy exploit to do that. Honestly, I think this is a good thing because, well, wither cages are pretty broken on their own. Having a movable one would literally just be crazy. On top of that, reinforced deep slate is probably going to get some sort of feature, like a new dimension or giving you a special item, just something unique to it, which means it's better that it doesn't have this piston mechanic, rather for its own mechanics, which are currently unknown. So, with that, it's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, remember, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. So, with that, take care. The day after I upload this is April Fool's, so expect normal things from this channel. Definitely just going to cover the April Fool's snapshot. Gearsaw out.